and welcome to yet another edition of Ask Miss Judes. I hope you've been keeping well as usual and adding value to your environment. Today, I want to talk to us briefly about celebrating mothers. I'm calling it Celebrating Mothers, a Rethink. Now, I know that Mother's Day is upon us, and at the end of this video, I hope I'll be able to make a case for celebrating your mother every day and not just on one day. But we make the most of that one day that's allocated. So I want to just quickly start by sharing what the parameters around which I'm considering motherhood today is that a mother is a female or a woman who gives birth to a child or children, and or a woman who raises children. So they may not be her biological children, but this is the person, the woman who has the primary responsibility of either giving birth to and or nurturing offsprings. Now, technically speaking, a lot of us would just assume that our mothers will do things for us because they're our mothers. I have been fortunate to have my mother, and I'm really grateful. Mommy turned 85 in December, and by the grace of God, she's in good health. But as I reflect on my mother and who she is and has been through the almost 6 decades of my life, I cannot help but just be amazed at how much of a sacrifice mothers do give to their children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren. It just never seems to end. Once you're a mother, it doesn't end. So I look at my mother who has 13 biological children. She acquired many more. She has 35 grandchildren, 10 great-grandchildren, and she continues to be a mother every day. Now, it would sound like, oh, how wonderful, she has all these accomplishments. But what I see when I reflect on who my mother is are those years of sacrifice, the years of pain, the years she put herself last, sometimes not at all, for the benefit of her children. So I want to reflect on motherhood today as a state of being where the person is a carer. So we know that our mothers care for us. My mother did. And I was particularly, I don't want to say a difficult child, but I had a challenging childhood with ill health. So it wasn't unusual for my mother to be in hospital with me much more than she was with any of her other children. So I recall the sleepless nights when I couldn't sleep because I was sick. She too didn't sleep, sat up with me all night. As a child, looking back now, I had a lot of issues with my hearing. I had a lot of ear aches. I don't know what became of them, but I know that I had countless sleepless nights, and mommy would stay up all night. If we had to go to the hospital, sometimes she's driving and praying behind the wheel to get me there. And that's just me, who's one of 13. She did the same for all of my siblings, and sometimes even for acquired children, many of whom she had, and grandchildren and all of that. So I think of my mother as that. So because of my mother, I think of motherhood as being equivalent to sacrifice. A mother nurtures. A mother is a nurse. When the child is sick, the mother is the first nurse. She's a planner. She plans the events in the family. My mom was the driver who drove us everywhere we went. She was a cheerleader when we did right. She was the first to encourage when we did wrong. She disciplined and then loved us back. I always want to say that I look at motherhood as being a magician. So we are the people who don't sleep, or we survive on very little sleep. We support the family, sometimes forgetting that we also need to look after ourselves. And as I looked at this, I said to myself, I have been the beneficiary of an example of a wonderful mother, and how privileged I am as I think about my friends whose mothers are no more with us. Many of you out there, your mothers have transitioned. Your mothers are a bit unwell and needing some extra care, and you're probably wondering what you're going to do with this Mother's Day. For some of you, you have been mothers to so many people who've either not appreciated you or just moved on as if you didn't exist. There are even some biological mothers who've been abandoned by their children. So Mother's Day brings a mixed bag of feelings to different people. However, as we reflect on this, I want to submit to you today that for those of you who still have your mothers around, that you make the most of the opportunity. Say thank you in a special way. It might be a letter recalling the goodies that they have, your value for them. It might be a gift. It might be a special gift. It might be you taking the time to spend quality time with them, not just on Mother's Day, but on a regular basis. It might mean you picking up the phone to call and tell them how much you appreciate them. And if your mother is no longer with us, I hope you can reflect on the good times. And as a result of the good that she has invested in you, that you will do the same by investing positively in other lives around you. And I know that for some people, Mother's Day is particularly difficult because they are not biological mothers. But I want to submit to you today, and as long as the milk of human kindness flows in you and you're reaching out to people in your environment who need your care, you are a mother. And so I'm encouraging you today, irrespective of the stage that you're in, whether you're a biological mother, a mother who's acquired children, a psychological mother, a mother in any capacity, or you are in a position where you've just lost your mom and this coming Mother's Day will be particularly challenging, I want to encourage you to think on the good things. Reflect on the blessings that they are to you. Reflect on the fact that they brought you into this world. And if you're a mother, that you have brought new life into this world. And if you have missed the mark and haven't done the best that you could have, my husband always has this saying, I'm sure I've said it here before, that whenever you wake up is your morning. So there is opportunity to rethink. And I thought I'd put this out a bit early, just so that we all have an opportunity to think about what we're going to do for our mothers on Mother's Day. And as we do this, I also want to submit that we don't only think of our mother or our parents only on Mother's Day or Father's Day, as the case may be, but that it's something that we are grateful to God for, that they brought us into this world, that we're going to commit to taking care of them and making their lives on earth an enjoyable and memorable one, that their sacrifices will not be in vain. And for us, as mothers, that our children would value us too, that they will realize that our sacrifices are not in vain, and that it will just pass on from generation to generation, that care and love win all the time. So thank you to all the amazing mothers out there, even for those who do not have their children with them or who feel abandoned. I'm sending love your way, and I want you to be encouraged knowing that God gave you an assignment to be a mother. You did it to the best of your ability, and we trust that that investment will yield fruits. For those who've lost your mothers, I want to commiserate with you and to encourage you to reflect on the good times. And if anyone is watching me today who does not have a good relationship with your mother, this is an opportunity to reconnect, because once they transition from this life, we will not have that opportunity to reconnect. So I just want to shout out to all the amazing mothers out there. I have my mother with me. I'm grateful, and I pray that all of you who are in a position too will do something really special for your moms on Mother's Day. I'm going to encourage you to like, share, subscribe, and keep those questions coming in. And I'll do one with my mom right now, and I hope we can attach it. If not, you will see her anyway.